name is Stephanie, HR Director at Stingray. Stingray is a Montreal-based leading global music and media company. My role at Stingray is mainly to work with the executive team to influence their business decisions and to make sure that we always consider the employee experience.
Hi, my name is Bianca and I'm HR Advisor at Stingray. In my role, I support managers in their day-to-day and support them with HR-related topics and activities.
Can you tell us a little bit about how and why Stingray started using Officevibe?
Absolutely. So Stingray started using Officevibe back in January 2020. We decided to focus on finding a platform where we could collect data and be able to report on employee experience. I think especially in HR, it can sometimes be difficult to have quantitative data on sort of the softer side of our business. And so it was really something that we found in Officevibe. I also think that it's very interesting that we're able to collaborate and use a service that's Montreal-based. We really love to support and work with Montreal-based companies as well.
Why are feedback and employee engagement important for Stingray?
Retention and attraction are very hot topics, and I think that feedback and employee engagements are super PowerPoints for those subjects. And I think Stingray actually takes a lot of pride in our long-standing employees. We have employees who've been with the company from 5 to 15 years. Out of about 450 employees, we have about 65 who've been with the company for over 5 years, about 55 for over 10 years, and about 20 to 15 for over 15 years, which I think is pretty remarkable. And I think that feedback and employee engagement really plays a huge role in that, in the sense that people feel as though they have a voice at Stingray, they feel engaged with our community, and so that's why it's important to us.
How does Officevibe help you tackle business priorities?
So my first reflex when you're asking that question was to see if there's any correlation between our strategic plan and the metrics, to see how we could bring together. But at the end of the day, the answer is much simpler than that. Officevibe provides us with an opportunity to better understand our employees, and by showing that we care, by showing that we take action on things that matter to them, we impact productivity and business objectives. And so that's how I see the correlation between the two.
What are some of the features that you use most frequently within Officevibe?
The most important one, I would say, would be the NPS, because at the end of the day, that's what measures employee loyalty, and we want our employees to feel good and to be loyal. We also look at participation, because we want to make sure that the results are as representative as possible to employees, so that they cover a large mass of our employees. And then we'll look at whatever we feel requires most of our attention, so either a lower metric or an employee feedback, and so that's how we base what we focus on.
So in my advising role, one of the features I use most frequently is being able to deep dive into the specific team's results. I like to bring that to my meetings with managers so we can see if maybe a recent change in the team, in the department, or in the overall company has affected the morale or any of the different metrics in the team. I think it really adds value to our meetings. And I really love using the good vibes segment. I think it's super fun to be able to congratulate my colleagues through it, to thank them for their help, for their support, for their good ideas, anything like that. And it actually ties really well into our company culture, because we have a tagline that says good vibes only. So the good vibes feature is really excellent. And that reminds me that I'm really excited about the new onboarding feature in Officevibe. I think it's wonderful. We had a little form that we would send out previously, but it's really amazing to have it integrated in the same platform, again, to sort of centralize all of our employee feedback in one place. And also I see that there's some reporting features, so I'm really excited to start using that as well.
And so once you gather all of those results, how do you communicate them with the rest of the organization?
So we provide weekly reports to our executive team, comparing the week's results to the results over time. We also communicate department-specific results at department meetings and directors' calls. And I think most importantly, or most interestingly, is that we'll give global overarching trends or info from our Officevibe reports during our global town halls, which I think is fun for employees, because managers have access to their team's results, but it's also interesting for employees to have a glimpse of sort of the overall results. I think that when an employer thinks about employee experience, it seems very mushy and it seems very sort of far from like the day-to-day and what needs to get done. And so when you're able to quantify it, and especially when you're bringing the information higher up to the executive team, to be able to prove or to show like, this is what our employees are saying, this is what they're feeling, and you can see 70% of them feel this way or whatever it might be, really facilitates in making improvements, or even knowing what you're doing well and being able to continue doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, it allows us to better influence the executive team. You know, sometimes if we say, well, you know, it would be nice to have this or that, you know, for them it's not numbers. HR is an expense. center more than it's a revenue generating function. And so you said it very well, but I find it's a great way for us to be able to influence the outcome and to support some of the projects that we're working on as well.
So what would you say to other leaders in your position that are maybe looking to implement an EX tool like Officevibe?
I would say that in the current context where we work with a hybrid workforce, where we don't have access to our employees every day as we used to, or if you're like us, are a company that has offices in other parts of the world, it's nice to have a just-in-time tool that can give us feedback on how your employees are feeling. And so first and foremost, that's what I would say. I would also say that the data that it provides is great to be able to influence business decisions at an executive level, because sometimes they don't see what we see. And so these are the main things that I would say.
Especially from an employee perspective, it's nice to fill out these surveys on a weekly or monthly basis, but it's so much more important when there's actual action that follows. So it's important to not only collect the data, but to also make sure that you have actionable items afterwards that you've pulled from the data to make it more meaningful.
Amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today. That's the final question that we have for you, and I think that all deserves a big round of applause.
That's a wrap.
Okay.